stop. Before you send that text, before you ask her out again, before you make another move that pushes her away, you need to hear what I'm about to tell you. Because right now, you're probably doing the exact thing that's killing your chances with women, and you don't even know it. What if everything you've been told about women is completely backwards? What if the reason you're struggling isn't because you're not good enough, but because you've been playing a game with the wrong rulebook? Buckle up, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to shatter everything you thought you knew about attraction. Untrust me. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around until the end, because the last thing I reveal will literally change your entire approach to women starting today. Let's get into it. The lie you've been sold. Here's what nobody's telling you. Society has been feeding you a complete fantasy about how attraction works. Movies, TV shows, your parents, even well-meaning friends, they've all sold you a story that sounds beautiful, but is psychologically wrong. You've been told that if you're just nice enough, respectful enough, if you listen to her problems and support her dreams, if you prove how much you care through constant attention and effort, she eventually fall for you. Right? Wrong. And you already know this is wrong because you've lived it. You've been that guy who did everything right only to hear, "You're such a great friend," or "I don't want to ruin what we have," or my personal favorite, "You're too good for me." Here's the truth bomb you need to hear. Women don't fall for men who prove their worth through effort and attention. They fall for men who already know their worth without needing to prove it. The game-changing truth. Ready for the truth that changes everything? Here it is. Women are attracted to outcome independence, not confidence. Not money, not looks, not even personality. Those things matter, sure, but they're all secondary to this one crucial element. What is outcome independence? It's the ability to genuinely not need any particular outcome from any particular woman. It's being so complete within yourself that whether she likes you, dates you, sleeps with you, or completely ignores you, your sense of self-worth doesn't change one bit. And here's where your brain is probably screaming at me right now. But wait, if I don't care about the outcome, why would I even try? How does not caring lead to success? Listen carefully, because this is the paradox that most men never grasp. The less you need a specific outcome, the more likely you are to get that outcome. The more desperately you want her approval, the less likely she is to give it. The moment you become genuinely okay with either outcome, you become infinitely more attractive. Why? Because neediness is the ultimate attraction killer. When you need her to like you, when you need the interaction to go well, when you need to get her number or get the date, she can smell that desperation a mile away, and it repels her at a visceral, unconscious level. The psychological mechanism. Let me explain the psychology behind why this works so powerfully. The human brain is wired to value scarcity and devalue abundance. This isn't just about attraction. It's about everything. We want what seems rare or hard to get. We devalue what's easily available. When you approach women from a place of neediness, you're essentially advertising that you're abundant and available. You're saying through your behavior, "I'm so available that I'll reorganize my entire life around the possibility of your interest." And her brain unconsciously registers this as low value. But when you approach from outcome independence, you're communicating something completely different. You're saying, "I'm interested in getting to know you, but I'm so fulfilled in my own life that whether this works out or not doesn't affect my self-worth." Her brain registers this as high value, as scarce, as something worth pursuing. Think about the last time you really wanted something, a job, a goal, an opportunity, when you were desperate for it, constantly checking for updates, unable to think about anything else. How did that usually work out? Probably not great, right? You came across as needy, even in professional contexts. Now think about times when you had multiple options when you were pursuing something, but genuinely okay if it didn't work out. You were more relaxed, more confident, more yourself. And ironically, those are probably the times things worked out better. What this looks like in practice. So, what does outcome independence actually look like when you're interacting with women? Let me paint you some scenarios so you understand the practical application. Scenario 1. You're texting a woman you're interested in. She takes 4 hours to respond. The needy guy immediately texts again, or worse, asks if she got his message. The outcome independent guy, here, Daniel Winley, doesn't notice or care because he was busy living his actual life. When he does see her response, he responds when it's convenient for him, not immediately to show he was waiting. Scenario 2. You ask a woman out and she says she's busy that weekend. The needy guy suggests multiple alternative times, trying to find anything that works for her schedule. The outcome independent guy says, no problem, let me know when you're free, and then genuinely moves on with his life. If she reaches out, great. If not, also great. Scenario 3. You're talking to a woman at a bar or a coffee shop and the conversation hits a lull. The needy guy panics and starts asking random questions to keep her engaged because he needs this interaction to succeed. The outcome independent guy. He's comfortable with silence, and if the conversation isn't flowing naturally, he's genuinely okay ending it and talking to someone else or just enjoying his drink alone. The transformation required. Now, here's the hard truth. You can't fake outcome independence. Women's intuition is too sharp. They can tell the difference between a man who's genuinely outcome independent and a man who's trying to appear outcome independent while desperately hoping for a specific outcome. So how do you actually develop this quality? It requires real internal work, not just behavioral changes. First, you need to build a life that genuinely fulfills you, independent of romantic success. This means having goals you're passionate about, friendships that sustain you, hobbies that engage you, and a sense of purpose that guides you. When your life is rich and full without a woman in it, outcome independence becomes natural rather than forced. Second, you need to expand your options. And I don't mean this in a player way. I mean, you need to talk to enough women that no single woman seems like your only shot at happiness. When you're only talking to one woman, of course, you're going to be outcome dependent. When you're meeting and talking to multiple interesting people, each individual interaction naturally becomes lower stakes. Third, you need to do the internal work on your. If your value is tied to external validation, especially from women, you'll never achieve genuine outcome independence. You need to develop such strong internal validation that her opinion of you, while nice to have, isn't necessary for your self-esteem. The mindset shift. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop seeing interactions with women as opportunities to get something and start seeing them as opportunities to discover something. You're not trying to get her. Get the date. Get her to like you. You're discovering whether you two have chemistry. You're discovering whether she's someone worth investing time in. You're discovering whether this could be something meaningful. This subtle shift changes everything about how you show up. Instead of being in your head about what she thinks of you, you're genuinely curious about who she is. Instead of trying to say the right things, you're expressing your authentic thoughts. Instead of managing her impression of you, you're assessing whether she's the kind of person you want in your life. When you adopt this mindset, something magical happens. She starts trying to win you over because you're the first guy in a long time who isn't obviously trying to win her over. You're the first guy who seems to have standards and is actually evaluating whether she meets them. The ultimate realization. Want to know the ultimate realization that makes outcome independence easy? Here it is. Any woman who's right for you will appreciate the real you. And any woman who isn't interested in the real you is wrong for you anyway. Think about that. If being yourself, expressing your genuine thoughts, living according to your actual values causes a woman to lose interest, she was never the right woman anyway. You didn't lose anything valuable. You just filtered out incompatibility early. This realization is liberating because it removes the pressure to perform or pretend. You can just be yourself, express yourself honestly, and trust that the right people will appreciate it, while the wrong people will filter themselves out. Most men are terrified of this approach because they think, if I'm just myself, no one will like me. But that belief itself is the problem. That belief causes you to hide yourself, which makes genuine connection impossible, which confirms your fear in a self-fulfilling prophecy. The truth is, when you genuinely like yourself, are working on improving yourself, and are living according to your values, being yourself naturally attracts compatible people and repels incompatible ones. That's not a bug, it's a feature. And if this video just changed how you see women and dating, smash that subscribe button because we're just getting started. Drop a comment telling me which part hit hardest for you. Share this with every guy who needs to hear this truth.